Welcome back. I'm Sean Montano. I'm the video production coordinator and instructor here at Emily Griffith Technical College. I'm here with Liam Dargen. Liam is also a student that takes the video production and editing certificate program here at Emily Griffith Technical College. Liam, how are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Doing? Last day of school, how are you?
Oh, very good. I just can't wait another minute to get enjoy my summer.
Yeah, so you've worked really hard, Liam.
Uh-huh.
And is it okay if I share, Liam, some information about you?
Sure.
Okay, so the thing that Liam made me aware of and his family made me aware of when he first started is Liam has autism. Liam, could you tell the audience what autism is?
Well, okay, I can try. Well, autism is sort of a development disorder that some kids have that makes that hinders their social skills. Like sometimes they can't talk. Or, yeah, I've had a little trouble for me when I was little, but I've managed to I've gotten there and to be a little more social and able to let my voice be heard.
Liam has done a fantastic job. You've done a great job. I'm well aware that you had autism, but I didn't treat you any differently, and you've done very well, and the projects that we're about to show has shown your growth and your progression through the program. The first project that I actually want to start with you is we decided to have you produce a documentary about yourself, and I was thoroughly impressed with your final product. Tell me about it.
Well, it's kind of some say the hardest thing about hardest thing you can make a movie on is yourself, and it was very hard for me. I mean, like, I'm a pretty self-conscious guy. I feel a little uncomfortable about people watching me and when I do my little quirks. Yeah, so, but that's one I think I feel pretty much okay with it.
Well, I personally hope, Liam, that this documentary inspires other students who have autism and who may be hesitant about taking a program like this, or in fact anybody with a disability who's hesitant, because I think you're going to be an inspiration for a lot more people than I think you really realize.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so too. So let's take a look at Liam's documentary.
My name is Liam Dargen. I'm 19 years old. I'm about to graduate out of high school, and I'm currently taking a college class at Emily Griffith Technical College. The class I take is the Independent Video and Editing program because I have one career in mind that I'm pursuing: world-class filmmaking. I hope to join the ranks of such greats as Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, Tim Burton, George Lucas, and Alfred Hitchcock. But it's kind of a bold thing to say for a guy like me, but at least I hope not to be far away from them. Now here's a very important thing about me. I'm a little different from my peers, and by that, I mean very different. I have the development disorder known as autism. I had difficulty being open and talking when I was little, but with time, a little help from my parents, and the magic of film, I came out of my metaphorical shell of isolation and silence and started to let people in. This is the story of my journey for Emily Griffith, and I hope that my story would shine on to other kids with autism, and if you work hard and do your best, no dream is impossible. It all began about a year ago when I was finishing up my time at the Career Education Center. I was taking a digital film class where I have made 6 short films in 2 years, all well received by my peers. And the great wall trying to have in common is that they were built by the same people who helped the locals. In the final months, my parents and I found about the Emily Griffith Technical College and that they have a program similar to the film class over at CEC. In late April, we took a tour around the building, and afterwards, we decided that this is the next step for me. In late August, I started my journey into the deeper parts of not only filmmaking, but also other departments of the media such as news, documentaries, among other things. The teacher of my class is Sean Montano. Just like me, he has affinity for films as well as the other students, Ethan James and Victor Lucero. I felt a little awkward to be in a different environment, but I'll just try and make the best of it. My movie was about these 2 men who get into a ridiculous fight over a dollar bill. I initially asked my friend Tyler to act in it, but he was unable to due to scheduling conflicts. Luckily, my father and his friend were willing to act like a couple of idiots for me. The final result was a humorous slapstick ditty. As time passes, my knowledge of the camera and technology grew. I came to understand the features such as the iris, focus, and aperture. My next project is a movie with sound effects. It's about a guy on his walk who desperately searches for a bathroom after drinking a whole canister of water. For this one, I cast my friend Tyler as the unlucky soul searching for a place to urinate. It was fun to get to do a project with my old friend back at CEC and also capture all these watery sounds to increase the urges that the protagonist tries to resist.
I really loved education and I really love coffee.
For my next project, I was assigned to do a personal profile on Donna, the barista at the coffee shop inside Emily Griffith, who also teaches refugees to handle jobs in America. What I find interesting about her is that she helps refugees from foreign lands to find a better life here in the States than they had before in their homeland. My project was a success, and Sean submitted it for a local student Emmy nomination. If it does get nominated, I get to go to my first awards dinner. That would be like going to the Oscars, where I dream of going to someday. Well, I guess I have to live in the now until then. Anyway, at the start of my second semester, we started studying non-fictional pieces so we can make our own. We also began to learn the working functions of a television studio, as we become crew members of a live educational show called The Homework Hotline, filmed on the soundstage right in the school. Here I've become adept at audio mixing, floor directing, and operating robotic cameras. My first project of the new semester was to create a profile for a small business, and so I decided to film a brewery that makes hard cider owned by Brad and Kathy Page. At the end of the day, it wasn't one of my best projects, but it was nicely sequenced, and not every movie can be as equally successful. Every Spielberg has his hook.
You seem to be making it go right.
My next project was a news report on a woman named Vicki Monroe, who owns a beekeeping supply shop and fights for the survival of the bees. It was very challenging and brave for me to shoot these bees wearing only a beekeeper's hat and layers. Some things are worth risking. I have also created a non-profit video about Denim, a non-profit organization that provides food and comfort for the needy in Denver. It was quite interesting to hear from the testimonies of the volunteers and the people they helped out.
My back rent, they paid my legal fees.
About a month ago, I began my internship at DPS TV, where I have shot and edited live events such as the DPS Shakespeare Festival and the Mock Career Fair.
As far as to give a better...
It's nice to have an open mind in a non-fictional department of media, but I must admit that I'm more of a man of storytelling and film because it's all planned out before shooting. It's something you can control. In the fall, I will start my term at the film school in CU Denver, so I'm very excited to get back to creating short films with stories. Hard to believe, looking back on all this. Not bad for a teenager with autism. So remember, whether you're autistic, have Down syndrome, handicapped, or dyslexic, you may have disabilities, but they shouldn't get in the way of your dreams. Anyone can do anything. You just gotta put your heart and mind into it. It worked well for me.
Welcome back. Again, Liam, I am thoroughly impressed with that documentary. I thought it came out excellent, and it had a little emotion, and I simply loved it.
Thank you. I thought I did a really good job on that one as well.
Why did you take this program?
My family and I heard about that for my high school, the college course program, that I can earn a certificate in video production and editing at Emily Griffith, and yeah, so we took a tour around it, got to see the studio and also the library work, and the idea of working in a studio fascinated me. So hopefully I can gain some experience to hopefully that I would utilize later on when I grow up as a full-fledged professional filmmaker. And so we so the family decided that this is the next step for me.
Excellent. So Liam's taken the program, and I frankly discovered Liam's strength towards the end of the program, so one of the final classes that the student takes is a writing the short script class. And Liam's abilities, I mean, he's a solid videographer and he's a great editor, but Liam's abilities to craft a story really came out in that writing the short script class, because he got to write stories. And so, Liam, one of my favorite stories that you did was the beekeeper story.
Oh yeah, that was on the Denver Post website. I came across this article about this beekeeper lady named Vicki Lawson, and I was very intrigued by the idea. It's like bees are very neutral. I mean, very essential to the environment. They bees provide the pollen for the flowers and provide fruit and vegetables to the animal kingdom.
Again, fantastic job, Liam. So let's watch his news report.
This is To Be or Not to Be, a store that sells supplies to beekeepers such as honey, hives, suits, among other things. Vicki Malone owns the store, a woman with a noble and worthy cause: the preservation and survival of the bee species.
The bees are actually very mystical if you watch them. They're absolutely amazing. In 2008, I read that the bees were all dying and felt like I needed to get involved. Everybody that comes in the store, we try to educate them on how to be successful taking care of bees, but there's no guarantees. It's very strong in Colorado, I feel. So big numbers all along the Front Range for sure.
Like all good causes, this one is not a light one, and it's something that won't be done in a day. There aren't that many people who are aware of the problem.
Occasionally I get people who come in that think they're going to make a lot of money selling honey. We're only interested in the plight of the bee and keeping the bee alive. That's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to help people understand what's going on. And usually the people that come in the store, they understand that too. A good number of the people that come in the store are there just to help the bees. If they get honey, that's the frosting on the cake. But normally they're there just to help the plight of the bees and help them stay alive.
Fortunately, Vicki has a plan that could save these poor creatures.
And if everybody realized how important it was to plant flowers that are pollinator friendly, we happen to be a society that every blade of grass has to be green and every flower has to be perfect, and this is killing the bees. By them dying by the millions, what's going on in the greater picture of what we're doing to our ground.
By saving the bees, Vicki will also save the human race.
Education and understanding what's going on with the bees is vital, and it is vital to everybody, and it is vital to our existence. Supposedly, we will not live much beyond that. So people have to understand this is a crisis situation, and we have caused it ourselves, and we need to do something about it.
Well, as you can see, Liam can shoot, Liam can edit, he does fantastic with sequencing, and he's a fantastic writer. And I thought you did a tremendous job writing that. And you had another project that I thought you did a tremendous job writing as well. And that was on our coffee shop barista. Tell me about that project.
Well, we were doing a personal profile. I had a hard time trying to figure out who to shoot it on. As I was capturing B-roll of her and interviewing her, I realized that the students she works with are refugees. He's in the Pathways program.
Great job, Liam. Let's take a look at that story.
Here we are at Emily's Coffee, a coffee shop conveniently located inside Emily Griffith Technical College. This is the woman behind all espresso operations.
My name is Donna Olson. I am the coffee shop manager and lead trainer for Emily's Coffee in the Pathways program.
Donna considers this position to be the perfect dream job.
I kind of came to it from two totally different paths, and I really loved education and I really love coffee. So I very luckily found a job that lets me do both, which you don't really find a whole lot.
Not only is Donna the manager of the coffee shop, she also teaches students how a coffee shop is run. Her students include refugees from far-off lands seeking a better life.
The Pathways program is a job training program for immigrants and refugees. So we focus primarily on refugee populations who are coming in from very difficult situations. Our goal is not to train baristas specifically, but to train our students to work with customers in a variety of environments. When you add in students, And then you add in students, not just regular students who are learning and don't know what they're doing, but also have varying levels of English speaking ability.
Handling these two jobs at the same time can be quite a handful for Donna.
I was a theater major, so I call it a comedy of errors when everything just goes wrong. And those are the days where you have to take a deep breath and have a sense of humor.
So in the end, just reaching out to these kids, guiding them, makes everything worthwhile.
I work really hard and I'm trying a lot of new things. So I kind of feel like I've been in a pretty constant state of experimentation.
Each situation that Donna faces depends on how the students are motivated.
For a student who's super motivated, they don't need a whole lot of help from me. For other students, I like to try to give them some motivation. So yeah, I feel like I am pretty effective for the folks who really want to be here and want to get a job.
Wow, Liam, 3 great stories that I think you should be proud of, and I think that you'll be able to showcase for a very long time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on completing the program, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. I look forward to seeing you success, and who knows where this will lead to, right?
Right.
All right, thank you. The Emily Griffith Technical College video production and editing program provides students with the tools, inspiration, understanding, and passion to pursue their goal in a career in video production. You will grow into storytellers.